And I'm giving thanks to the Hunab, the one and only giver of movement and measure, the great central sun and black hole at the epicenter of the omniverse, the maker and modeler of all things physical and all things non-physical. Heart of earth, heart of sky, heart of humanity, Hunab. I am here to do your work, and I thank you for your continued energetic blessings and support. Greetings, dear souls, dear starseeds, dear light workers, dear wayshowers, dear twin souls, dear twin flames. Thank you for joining me today. I am Crispy, and I am another you. You are another me. We are one God-sciousness. Every single human being that exists, and every single non-human being that is an entity, either physical or non-physical, is a holy hologram of God-sciousness. We truly are one. And we are individually representatives of the one. And it blows my mind. It's so incredible and so exciting. And today I have something exciting and new to offer you, especially those of you who wish to have a much closer relationship with the one you love. I'm going to show you how that can happen through Mayan embodiment, possibly better or easier or more clearly, certainly more clearly than any other existing system. You cannot do this through regular astrology. You cannot do it through true sky sidereal astrology even with the 13th sign, Ophiuchus. There's no way to match two birthdays on any other system, not the Chinese, nothing else. You can't look at any two people's birthdays on any other system and see how they completely mesh and intertwine like you can with the Mayan, which is Pleiadian. So if you call yourself a starseed, you really need to start following and tuning in to the divine Mayan Zolkin calendar. Now, I've made a PowerPoint to help illustrate my PowerPoints. Here we go. Sharing screen, yes, and PowerPoint is coming up and starting. Where's Crispy? Let's put him down here, and if I go here, it can be a little bit bigger, which is sometimes important. All right, now, I'm calling it Cosmic Couples Counseling, and before I was doing a similar thing for my clients, for any two people who came to me wanting to compare their Mayan birthdays, I would do a similar thing, but it was lacking some important elements which have now finally come into my field. So naturally, I'm sharing them with you. Again, specifically, this is for the twin flames, the soulmates, the star seeds, and let's get started, shall we? First thing you need to know, yes, the shadow work component of Carl Jung's theories and practices are very helpful. But no, he never said anything about twin flames whatsoever. Never, never, never. So These I've taken from YouTube videos. Anyone who is telling you the theories about Carl Jung and twin flame are directly connected is lying to you. So be very careful what you see. Especially, I would say, if it is narrated by AI. If you click onto some flashy looking video with, one of these types of thumbnails, and you hear a mechanical voice just reading things off the page, click the fuck off that video right away. It's soulless, okay? Now, what do I need to tell you? Carl Jung had some extremely powerful and true theories that he brought to the world. And remember, this was about 100 years ago, and he came from a culture that was very sexually repressed. And so the theories he brought forth were truly remarkable and still applicable, of course, to this day. The two that are probably most important are the anima, being inside a man, these feminine archetypes or qualities or traits that are usually hidden and therefore in the shadow to him. And then the anima is similarly the masculine qualities in every woman, which again are usually hidden to her. Now, this can also simply be thought of as the right hand being masculine and therefore connecting to the left brain, okay, of logic and facts, and the right hand is about going out and being active, and the left hand is receptive and going to the right mind. Okay, so there's a lot of truth to what he says that is beyond everything he taught us. Now, I think it's majorly lacking that he said, and therefore virtually all Jungian theorists, and therefore virtually everyone who does shadow work, they say that only the man has anima, the feminine inside, and only the woman has animus, the masculine inside. What we know now through Mayan embodiment and some other perspectives is that we all have both. Because our soul is neither male nor female. We have been born into this body this time, and we are approaching things from a certain physiological, biological perspective this time, which also may be a blend already. And sexuality and attraction notwithstanding. But the Jungian theory, again, 100 years ago, and sexually repressive society, it's missing some things. Now, what is true, I believe, of the Jungian theory is that these hidden or inner desires or needs get projected out onto the other, onto everyone, but specifically with the partner. So part of this is that we get imprinted with positive and negative archetypes of what femininity represents and what masculinity represents. And those all filter down into the Jungian theory of anima and animus. This is also heavily influenced by trauma, I'll just say. And it can't just be simply called anima for men and animus for women, and everything's fine. Now, what we need to recognize is that Jung was very intelligent, very well read, and he knew very well that Shiva and Shakti have been the divine feminine and divine masculine part of the Hindu culture for at least 5,000 years. Jung also knew, of course, about Yeshua and Mary being the personification and the physicalization of the feminine and masculine. And yet, as I pointed out in my last video and in many other places, Yeshua has said that he took on his divine feminine qualities. And we don't have quotes from Mary Magdalene, but I can guarantee you she very carefully nurtured her divine masculine qualities as well. It has to have been that way, and it has to be that way for you. And the past image and past ceremonies for Hieros Gamos is now basically defunct. It is no longer what we're looking for because you must do the Hieros Gamos with yourself. You must marry your own anima and animus yourself. And then when you do that, you can join with a partner who has done the same, and you can do this concurrently. And that's what I'm here to show you today with cosmic couples counseling through the Divine Mayan Tzolk'in perspective, which, like I said, is out of this world. When we enter into the Starseeds information, we've got so many possible variables that it's actually far too complicated to really talk about. And all I can say is this. Again, oneness, non-duality is the biggest truth of them all. So when you take into consideration the fact that your soul is eternal, that you have never actually been born and you have never actually died, you have had or will have lifetimes in every star system that exists. So let's just narrow it down to the Milky Way galaxy and the closer ones to us. And you've still got about 7 or so star systems that your soul might have more resonance with, but you've been with them all. That being said, the Mayan calendar did come from the Pleiades, which you can see my presentation about that here on my channel. And here's some other videos I've done. These are all playlists directly connected to the Pleiadians and even what Bashards of light, what Bashar has taught us. So check those out. Now we need to add information about soul groups. The concept that you are a soul in a body is not the most useful concept. You are a body in a soul that is part of a soul group. Now, some people say there are definitely 7 that we all belong to, and there's maybe 7 sevens and all of these things that nobody could ever actually prove and may or may not be helpful again. But we need to focus on oneness, okay? Everything is actually one thing. We are going through the illusion of separation, which is truly beautiful, and other things as well. Bashar, as I mentioned, teaches that time which I think we're all starting to recognize, is an illusion in itself. So if you think you are born and then you live and then you die and then you have your next life and next life on a linear scale, that is not actually true whatsoever. All of your lifetimes are simultaneous. Your awareness changes accordingly. You were in the now at each one of your lifetimes. And again, it's all part of a much larger soul group. So, in a way, that's just too much information, and we need to bring it back to the Maya. Today, by the way, is Kin 234, Transcending Jaguar Shaman. If you're into electronic music, you know about the orb very well. And I just found out a week ago that Dr. Alex Patterson's Mayan birthday is today. And so please check out my videos about that video. I have one about that. And today is Dr. Alex's and Edgar Casey's Mayan birthday. So hip hip hooray for the Milky Way, etc. Now, this is the video I just made last week where I was talking about all of the patterns that indicate a very close connection. What I didn't really dwell on in that video at all is the fact that there are also some patterns that show very difficult types of relationships. And you know what? I've had people come to me and I do their reading and they break up after because I'm showing them, look, you guys, you've got this pattern and this pattern, which are very challenging. And they're like, yep, all right, well, thank you. And, goodbye is oftentimes the best way to go. However, in most cases, I can show you the ways that you guys fit together that no other system on Earth can show, like I said. And I actually think I am showing it more than other Mayan astrologers. I've had readings from two other professional Mayan astrologers, three, and it's not in there. What happened to me, Mayan embodiment happened to me, and it gave a new perspective, a new dispensation, if you will. Now, I have to tell you, I have a degree in psychology as my undergrad. My master's is in teaching. These are some of the books I have read recently. Let me just slide this over there so you can see that. Recently, or let's just say in the last 7 years, actually, I read Healing the Child Within when I was in counseling in the early 1990s in Vancouver. I moved away from home when I was 20, and I had a lot of challenges, and I became alcoholic and suicidal, and I got into counseling, and we started with that book. Tremendous book. And also John Bradshaw's Homecoming and his Healing the Shame That Binds You. Now, we all go through our lives with different challenges, and I am here to tell you that you chose your birthday. You chose your parents for the challenges they would give you, for your soul evolution. And you are also choosing your partner. Maybe you don't have one yet, but maybe you are together, and maybe you call it twin flames, or maybe you call it soulmates. But I'm here to help you enhance that relationship, because it's only when you feel 100% comfortable that you can begin to ascend. You will never have anything close to ascension if you have ego dramas going on in your life, especially with your number one person. It's that simple. Oh yes, I beeped me over. These are a few others that I have read recently, and again, this whole thing about the new Earth and 5D Earth is all about vibration. It's here already. 5D Earth has been here all along. I do believe it to be the place that many of the Maya disappeared into. They ascended. Large numbers of them ascended into that state, which you could also just say is the upper astral planes. And they can stay there as long as they like. When you're having ego dramas and frustration and anger and guilt and shame and blame and all the rest of that, you are stuck in the lower 3D world. So what I am going to show you with Cosmic Couples Counseling is how to enmesh yourself with your partner to a much higher degree than any other system possible, I believe. Now, I should also mention that I am, in a Jimi Hendrix sort of way, experienced with every P-delic, we'll call them. So the wordy nerd thingies, don't pick that up. And also all of the laboratory fabricated adjuncts. And another thing I can do for you is help the reintegration after those experiences, separate from the Mayan embodiment reading. So I can do a lot of counseling in various areas. But let's stick to the CCC, shall we? Just go to my website, mayanembodiment.com, and click the readings blog. Once you get to that page, click the readings. Oh, that came up twice. That's so cool. And I made it look a little nicer for you right here, but the main difference here is that when two people come to me for this CCC reading, it includes automatically 4 Zoom sessions of at least 1 hour each. I call them 1 hour, but they never ever get done in 1 hour. They're usually 90 minutes and sometimes more. Each reading comes with at least 4. You can have more if you want, which are separate costs of $52.13 per hour again, and that's US money. But my sliding scale is right here, 520 up to 1320 is a suggested sliding scale. And as I point out, this is worth potentially years of typical therapy or counseling of 1 hour a week with a therapist or a psychiatrist or a relationship counselor. So mayanembodiment.com, email me for further details. But what I'm going to show you is every time, even for one person, for one reading, which will help you enormously, you get this, okay? Everyone gets 60-page work booklet. It's got a whole year of calendars. There's right now. Oh, look, there's today, Friday the 11th. Oh my goodness. So you get a full year, and then you get the descriptions of every tone and every glyph and lots of trippy other stuff. What I'm telling you is, even if one person comes to me for a reading, you will then understand the whole system incredibly well. So you can find out other people's Mayan birthdays and just put in any birthday here. It always comes up to today. So here's today, but you can put in anybody's birthday here. Let's do mine, 1968. December 27th. And oh, look at that. I'm a reflecting eagle. So when you find out anyone else's birthday, you can look in here and find out all about them. Now, all the patterns are in here, okay? I am giving you more information than anyone else gives you. If you get a reading from me, you will learn enormously more than anyone else, any other Mayan astrologer that I know of. Okay, right? All right. A very key component of what I do is called shadow ego work, and we go through that together on Zoom. And what is happening now with the Cosmic Couples Counseling is this is greatly enhanced. And I have made a special booklet that you too will get that has special journal prompts, and you need to do the work together. First on your own individually. And like I said, even if just one person comes to me, we're going to go through this together. And you are going to do very precise shadow work. On my website, submit that. Go here. There's the Da Vinci Codex. It's the exact same thing. Go here. It tells you one paragraph about each. Go here. Tells you all of the key code words, including the dark stuff for everybody, for yourself. And it is these dark things that when we go through the shadow ego work process, help you bring out hidden things, hidden to yourself, things that you were unaware of. That's the process. That's how it works. When we do it as a couple, I'm telling you guys, off the charts. Off the charts interconnection. You know, my system is called soul cartography for a very good reason. The Pleiadians beamed this information here and or brought it here physically for men, for women. The names of them are in the Popol Vuh. They came here. They taught this system possibly 5,138 years ago. We don't really know. Doesn't really matter. And that's my point with all this other stuff too. You know, it's very easy to get bogged down and caught up in, oh, yes, I am Syrian, or I am Lyran, or oh, how do you pronounce it? Lyran or Lyran? Oh, oh, oh. It's very easy to separate. And what I'm suggesting is the unification, okay? Non-duality, oneness. That's what's being called for here. So drop the drama. I will show you how. It's very simple. I'm going to close that now and this and stop sharing. So we're back to me on a larger scale. I have the highest respect for you for doing this work. I have a non-disclosure agreement with my clients that I will never, ever share any details about them to anyone else unless those two people come to me at the same time, and then we share things, and I don't share them with anyone else ever. I have cried so many times while helping people. I am a blue glyph The blue glyphs are the emotional body, okay? The chakras are included in this system. The four bodies, all right? The red is the physical, white is spiritual, yellow is mental, thinking. I call it the thinking body, and then the emotional body, the blue glyphs. So I show you how to combine with each other, taking all those things into consideration. I do make customized graphics for you. I start with the ceremony right here, and I go into a trance. I unplug all other social media, and I'm in here for hours focusing, and things come to me that I feel have a very high degree of truth and validity. And if you need more, if you want to have a meeting with me before you decide officially to do the program, super. No problem. That will be free. All right. On Zoom or just on FaceTime if you want. Let's do this, my friend. It's time now. This is what we came here for. It's time now.